What's going on, everyone? This is the fourth time. I actually just recorded this, but I didn't have the proper settings on OBS, so it didn't record any of the stuff that I showed. So I'm doing it again. So back in 2019, about 3 weeks into the first lockdown, I started getting rashes in my armpits. I thought I was having a reaction to my deodorant, which I was using Speed Stick Unscented. I had been using that for a long time, and I never had any problems with it. Like literally, it was completely normal, fine deodorant. Never any issues at all. So I switched to Dove for Men, and that didn't do anything. Then I switched to Everyman Jack, and that didn't do anything. Besides ruin all of my shirts because it's a wax-based deodorant. So all my shirts had dark, like black armpit areas, and I had to throw a bunch of my shirts away. So I switched from that, and then I started using Dr. Teal's, which this is a good deodorant. That would be my backup. The only thing I don't like is they only have lavender, eucalyptus, and coconut. I chose coconut because of the oils. There was a huge fad about coconut oil. I don't know if there still is, but people say it's really good for you. I know it's good to cook with, but I don't know what it does other than that. So I didn't want to smell like lavender. I don't like eucalyptus. That was the only other one. So I used that one. And the rashes didn't go away. So I did some research and I started using hydrocortisone. I was putting that in my armpits. And that would help with the itching, but it didn't make the rashes go away. So then I started trying hydrocortisone and athlete's foot cream. And I was putting that. Helped with the itching, didn't make the rashes go away. This went on for years. Many, many years. Um, and fast forward to the end of 2024, right? Yeah, the end of 2024, and I had developed a huge. You could see like right now what it looks like. I got a huge red rash right here, and it started spreading all over my body. I had all these red dots all over my sides. I had that rash there. I had other stuff going on. I have pictures that I'm going to show you. So I went to urgent care, and they said I had, and my eyes were really swollen. If you saw any of my live streams from last year on Twitch, which I think are on my YouTube channel, I'm not saying you have to go back and find them, but my eyes were really red, and my right eye was really swollen, like it still kind of is. I always had these bags under my eyes though, but it was like really puffy, and they said I had eczema. So they gave me two steroid shots, a fast acting one and a long term shot. And they also said it would make my blood sugar spike. So if you're diabetic, you might want to. Obviously, you're probably going to tell them that when you go, but just be sure that you're not going to go into a sugar coma or something. And after they gave me those shots, things started to clear up. I was like, cool, it's fixed, it's gone. Well, about 2 months later, it came back twice as worse. And so I went back to urgent care. I spent like $500 on urgent care because I got screwed with my health insurance. I ended up on state run health insurance, which I wasn't supposed to be on, but I couldn't cancel because then I wouldn't be able to get back on the other health insurance because then I would have to pay full price and it would be like $800 a month. And I couldn't do that, so I just waited like the whole year so I could get back on regular insurance and pay the normal amount, which is still crap. It's anyways. I went back and she said I had ringworm, so she prescribed me athlete's foot cream, and like I already told them that this wasn't working. It's not doing anything, and so I got back on the regular healthcare that I had, and I scheduled an appointment, and he I fasted for 10 and a half hours or 12 hours or something like that. I drank hella water and I was there like 30 minutes early. I paid my copay. He calls me in early and he looks at a few things and he's like, "Oh, it looks like you have psoriasis," and he prescribes me this ointment, which most of the places that I've put this ointment, like on my arms, on my armpit areas, my chest, my neck, my back, it seemed to work around the eyes maybe, but it took so long for this to do anything that I don't know if this actually even did anything, or if it was just whatever this is running its course and going away naturally. So I don't know, because I've been putting this on my legs for a long time, on my calves, which I'll show you, and nothing ever changed. It didn't go away. It didn't clear anything up. It, if anything, it's just keeping it where it is, as opposed to it getting worse. But I don't know for sure. So I stopped using this probably 2 weeks ago. I might start using it again because I have some stuff going on in the back of my head that I didn't know was that bad. Um, and someone told me I should take an antihistamine. They said maybe you're having an immune system issue, and you should probably take an antihistamine to see if that helps. So I started taking Benadryl, and things started clearing up. It was crazy. So apparently, it's an immune system issue, and psoriasis is an immune system issue. Um, Now, I was taking Benadryl, but that makes you so drowsy. And if you are familiar with my channel, you know I'm a driver, and trying to keep your eyes open while driving down the road, being drowsy while driving isn't good. So I switched to generic Allegra. This is 180 milligrams of fexofenadine, a 24-hour pill, and the difference was night and day. Going from a zombie to not being a zombie anymore was awesome. And this is 150 tablets. I took almost all of them, and it seemed like it wasn't working anymore. And apparently, you're supposed to change antihistamines every 90 days because the allergens can change, your body can become tolerant things. So it's good to keep a cycle going with different antihistamines. So I switched to Claritin. This isn't Claritin, but I took that. It was 10 milligrams of some kind of antihistamine. I took it for 10 days. I didn't see any difference. It's a non-drowsy pill, and that didn't really help. As far as I know, I didn't see anything changing in those 10 days. So I switched to generic Zyrtec, and this seems to be doing something. I didn't want to take Zyrtec because people have said the side effects include hallucinations. Personally, I may have hallucinated twice, but I could have just been thinking that I was because I'd only been taking it like 3 or 4 or 5 days. I have 9 pills left in here, and I haven't had any hallucinations yet, though I have been drowsy. Zyrtec is like up and down, up and down, up. You're fine, everything's good, and then you're drowsy. And then you're back up and you're fine, and then you're drowsy. And then you're fine, and then you're drowsy. It's quite the roller coaster, which is interfering with me doing DoorDash because there's times where I have to pause everything and close my eyes for 20 minutes to deal with that drowsiness because I'm driving and I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. So I just pull over and I crash out for 20 minutes, and then I'm back on the road and everything's all right. But that seems to happen constantly. It's really weird. I take this before I go to bed. Key point, I take it before I go to bed. It's a 24-hour pill. So I thought that would be the best option to deal with the drowsiness, because I noticed with Benadryl, like 45 minutes after you take it, you're crashing. You're falling asleep hard. And I didn't want that to happen with this, so I was taking it before bed. Whereas Benadryl, you have to take a pill like every 4 to 6 hours or 8 to 12 hours or something like that. And like I said, trying to drive and deal with drowsiness, I thought that would help, but this stuff is really weird. But other than that, it's been fine. I haven't had any significant side effects that I've noticed. Um, what else? What else was I gonna say? Did that? Those seem to be working. Um, I already did that. I also have scalp psoriasis apparently, so I bought this. This was $10, $10 for 4.5 fluid ounces, and it says you're supposed to use it twice a week or as directed by a physician. I haven't been using it consistently. I use it 2 or 3 times a week, like every couple of days. I'll use it, but maybe I don't know what it's gonna do if I use it every day. So maybe I'll try and use it every other day to see if it helps. Because this stuff going on, when I show you these pictures, it's crazy. Um, I also got this for my arms, and really it really works for a little while. It doesn't last for very long, but it does help. You can't put this anywhere you want. It will burn. I put it on my neck, and it was like fire. It was like I had to get a damp towel and clean off the back of my neck because it hurt. It hurt a lot. I don't know if it's like the menthol. Maybe there's like an acid in here. I think menthol. Well, there's alcohol. Alcohol will make stuff burn. I don't see any acid, but I don't know what all these names mean anyway. Potassium hydroxide, citric acid, right there at the bottom, and another acid, 3O ethylascorbic acid, sterile alcohol. Yeah, so that's a bunch of stuff that'll make sensitive skin burn. So be cautious. If you're gonna use this, keep a damp towel next to you in case it starts to burn. You can get it off because it hurts a lot. So anyway, I got some pictures that I want to show. I'll keep this here so I have all of this doing display capture, so I'm not gonna be able to see what I'm doing. So this was back in September. This is my right armpit right here. I keep this over here. I think I'm down here somewhere. This is my right armpit, and this red spot has been here for a while. It seemed like it was going away. I don't know what it is. It's starting to itch and burn again, whereas before it wasn't really doing anything, but now it's starting to hurt. So I don't know what that is. And then you can see these little red dots. That's how things start for me on my body. If this is psoriasis, I don't know. It's just there's always been red dots, as you're gonna see. This is my left armpit. You can see these dots right here. This has always itched. It has always burned. It's always been uncomfortable. Not much else going on my left side. Besides this, and then there's something else over here, but you can't see it. Maybe it was higher up. I'm not sure, but. And then this is my hand. This is my right hand. It's right here. Like I said, this is back in like September of last year, I think. Or no, September we just had. It's not here anymore. It's still right here. This is where it started. So about like right here, I think. Maybe a little further back. But I noticed when I was scratching this all the time, I didn't know why I was scratching it all the time. I just knew that it was itchy until this happened. Um, and I was at first it was just back here, but I noticed when I scratched this whole spot, it felt really good. Like it's euphoria when you scratch these things. You just want to keep doing it until it hurts, which you shouldn't do. So I don't know if me scratching this. Oh, gotcha, bitch. And fruit flies. I don't know why there's such a problem with fruit flies this year. Um, I don't know if me scratching this helped it spread, or if this whole area was gonna flare up like this on its own anyway. But this is exactly where I was scratching, all the way up to right here. I would just do that every time it itched. That's what I would do. And then this is what happened. So I don't know if scratching it helped it spread, or if this whole area was just gonna do this anyway, and it just happened that way. I don't know. But that's mostly gone, so I'm not an X-Men anymore. But I think that's like the clearest my skin has looked on this hand in a long time. That's actually kind of amazing to look at compared to that. This is my right leg. This is what my right leg looked like. These are mostly gone or are going away. And I had a wound right here because I was putting healing ointment in the in those big band-aids, the big fabric ones, and I was covering these because this was in the summer. And luckily, not many people had noticed this was on my leg until I showed someone, and then they kind of stepped back, and looked alarmed, and it, it makes you feel like, damn, is it that big of a deal? It makes you like sort of insecure, so to say. Um, but these are mostly gone. So I was taking healing ointment, putting it on band-aids to cover this up, thinking it would help heal it and help it go away, which it sort of did right here, but then it came back. So I guess in the end, it really didn't do much. But when I took a band-aid off, it ripped, it pulled my skin off right here, right on this psoriasis area, and that took a long time to heal, but I think it finally healed and is going away now. And then this was my right arm compared to now. You probably can't see it very well because it's a small camera. But you can see the spots. That was the first time I was going to film the video. This is the second time I was going to film the video. This is my left armpit. You can still see all the red dots. There's more of them now. Not currently, but for this one. And I think this was my right armpit, or, or maybe the side. My side. I can't remember which arm. I should have labeled these. This was the back of my left leg. You can see these little spots right here. That's how I noticed they start out. And then, so they'll look like this small one right here, and then they'll turn into that. So they sort of like bloom into a big spot. I think this is on my leg. This is what I'm talking about. They start out as a little small one, and then it turns into something like this, and then it gets bigger, and I'm not sure how big they get, but they do expand in size over time. And I think this was my right leg. You can't really see. That's not a very good picture. I should have tried to take a better picture. Fast forward to today. So where's that? Where's that picture of my arm? This is my arm back in September. This is my arm today. See the difference? This is what I'm dealing with. Itchy all the time. It sucks. You got a few spots coming out, and then some of these have like formed together. And you can see they're a bit raised as well. It looks like plaque psoriasis in a way. But I don't know what my immune system is doing. This is the outside of my right arm. It goes all down here too, which you can't really see because of the light, but it's all over my arm. There's red spots. This is my left arm. This right here is incredibly itchy. I look like a drug addict sometimes because it itches right here too. So I'm scratching the inside of my arm like that. Which I don't scratch. I just rub my nails against it, or I'll rub it with my fingers. So I'm not like breaking the skin even more. But I always think people might think I'm a heroin addict or something because sometimes I'm standing there doing this. And I know that's like a thing with needles and drug usage. You get itchy veins or something like that. This is the inside of my left knee, right where that big tendon is, where your knee bends. This itches a lot too, and it's really annoying. And then I also have that on my right knee as well, on the inside. All right, let's close this one. Where was it? Here? No, it's not. That one. This one. All right, let me. Was this October? This was December. All right, this is December 10th, 2025. And this is today, December 10th, January 7th, 2026. You can see the improvement. It's starting to fade. And I notice when this heals or goes away, it does leave scarring for a little while until it's gone completely. But you can, it's night and day. I mean, look at it. That's crazy. It still itches right here. It's still itchy. Still itch. I try not to itch it because I have a feeling if I keep, or scratch it, I got a feeling if I keep scratching it, it's gonna come back. I don't want it to come back. So I try not to, but it's hard. It's hard not to. So this is with Zyrtec. From then, and then like 3 weeks I've been taking Zyrtec, I think. And then this is the back of my head. I didn't know it was this bad. I had no idea this was going on. I knew something was because you can see all the the wrinkles in my skin. My skin is really dry, and if I move my head, I can feel my skin, how dry it is. It's like stretching. And then there's different types of psoriasis as well. Some are life threatening. I would definitely look into that. There's other YouTube videos that explain all the specifics, all the terminology, all the stuff I don't know anything about or can't even say. And they tell you the different types. But I would definitely look into that so that you know what's going on. If this is the same stuff that's going on with you, I think I'm going to start using this stuff again on the back of my head to see if it helps this go away. For about a week now, I think I've just been using lotion. I've just been putting lotion all over my body because like I was saying, I don't know if this is actually doing anything. But this wasn't here before, and I stopped using this, and now this is here. So maybe this does work on my neck. I just don't want to spend another $113 on this crap. That's a lot of money. I spent almost $400 on that stuff already. So this is what's going on with me. If you have any information, leave it in the comments. If you have questions, leave it in the comments. Consider subscribing and join me on my journey. One of my goals for this year is to try to make this go away, or to make it clear up, or to try to figure out a way to lessen the effects of this. And apparently stress and diet are two big things. The more stressed out you are, the more flare-ups you may have. Your diet and things you're allergic to could also be a culprit for this. I've started to change my diet over the past 2 weeks. I've cut a lot of dairy out of my diet. Apparently, lactose, dairy is a psoriasis trigger. Gluten can be a psoriasis trigger. And I want to stop vaping. That's another thing I want to do this year. I'll post updates every several months or something. I want to change my diet, as I said, and exercise. I want to start exercising too, though I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But if it's going to help the immune system calm down, then it's worth a shot, because I don't want to live with this for much longer. So thank you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one, and take care.